Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Friday edition of Today in Sports Betting. It is Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. You made it through another week. TGIF, you made it, man. You made it through Star Wars Day. You made it through Cinco de Mayo. And now there was a day in between, and you had time to catch your breath. And now it's Friday. It's time to party again. But first, we're going to make a little money with the NBA. Scott, what do you say? You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. As always, we're going to dive into the TV games first. We've got the Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls as Larry Bird once again squares off with the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is going to be a substantially worse matchup than back in the day, Scott.
Well, you can't win them all.
Unless you're the Bulls, then you could win them all, Scott. So let me ask you, who's playing for the Boston Celtics? And more importantly, who's not playing, Scott?
Well, Kemba's going to play because he played the last game. Played pretty well, actually. Tatum's going to play. The Jaylen Brown question mark is definitely the biggest one because he did not play against Orlando. However, of course, he is still a very meaningful player, but he's still been banged up for the last couple of weeks. He's played through it most of the time, but he re-aggravated that injury when he bumped to knees with Jason Tatum at the end of that Portland game, which caused him to miss. Now, as for his status on the upcoming game, it's kind of like every other superstar in the league. We don't know because he might play and he might not play.
Who are you talking about?
But actually, that's what I assumed as much, and then I found out that Brown's actually officially going to be out.
I was just going to tell you that. I was just going to tell you that Brown is officially out.
Okay, I remember him being questionable earlier this past night, so I guess it came out a couple hours ago. But apparently, he's officially going to be out. So you have Kemba and Jason Tatum, and the question there is, of course, Chicago got Zach LaVine back yesterday, and they picked up a nice easy winner against Charlotte. However, is LaVine going to play a back-to-back? I don't know. My guess is probably because Chicago, I don't even know if they have any shots of making the playoffs as a play-in team. Probably not.
I happen to have the standings right here in front of me, my friend.
They're 12 games under, so I'm assuming they're basically dead to rights.
Yeah, but they are in the East. Well, the good news is they're the first team out of the playoffs. Bad news is they're 3.5 back of the Wizards.
And how many games are left? Like 6?
What did we decide there was? 60 how many games?
I believe they're 72.
72?
I thought there were 72.
Okay. I couldn't remember 72 or 74. So they're at 66 right now.
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Okay, so
you're saying there's a chance.
So Chicago's probably going to play everybody because if they want to make the playoffs, they have no choice.
I was going to say, yeah, there is no tomorrow.
Yeah. So the question there is, does it really matter? We both hate this Boston team with a passion. But you know, you got Kemba back, who had 32 against Orlando, so he looks fully healthy again. Tatum had 27, so he's looked good. Fournier actually did something in the last game, had 18 points. But looking at this matchup here, Boston's only laying 3. I can't tell if that's a trap line or if that's just a good spot for Boston.
What's that in the tailpipe, boys?
Might be a banana. But at the end of the day, though, I think that this spread's too low. I got to go with Boston. I just think
I can't justify not taking the Celtics here, but
Chicago on a back-to-back. I got to fade them.
I know. I am. Yeah.
I'm not going to bet on this game because we both know how much both of us dislike the Celtics, but it's either Celtics or pass. I can't take Chicago.
It seems too good to be true.
It really does.
It really, really does. All right. So the second TV game. Hey, we get to see the Lakers again, Scott.
Whoopee. I think we're going to call an audible on that one, though.
We are. It's the Lakers Blazers, and Scott and I each have done plays of the day on this game independently of each other. So we think it's a little bit redundant to go over it again. So if you want to see our play on this game, you can check out one or both of our videos. In fact, if you want to get an opinion from each of us, we're happy to give it. You can check out both of our plays of the day videos. So with that being said, we're going to look at another game. And there are a couple of good games, and we've chosen the New York Knicks and the Phoenix Suns. Scott, Suns 6-point favorite here at home against the Knicks. We actually have a total on this one. How about that? 218 is the number. Not a lot of injury news here. Either side. Jay Crowder is questionable.
Question though, besides the injuries, because there aren't really much to talk about, what happened with the Knicks in Denver the other night?
Well, the Knicks were terrible,
Yep,
and they got beat soundly.
that checks out.
I think, if I recall, and I'll check this real quick, but I think they had
They scored 12 in the first
a
quarter.
horrible first quarter. That's right. They scored 12 in the first quarter. Right, because we had the over in that game.
Went under by 4.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
So the Knicks came out and put up 12. That's right. And yeah, if they put up 17 points that doesn't seem like a lot to ask. That's 68 over the course of a game.
Sounds too good to be true.
That's doable.
Yep.
But no, they had to come out and suck. And so, yeah, they're down 22 points after the first quarter, and they end up losing by 16. So, congratulations.
I don't really have anything to add there.
Jokic was nuts in the first quarter. He had 24. He's into Wilt territory there.
Well, he's going to win MVP for a reason, so I'm not surprised by that.
Yep, absolutely. So
going back to this matchup, though, the Knicks did play the Suns. Of course, the Suns ended up snapping the Knicks' huge cover streak a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
But the Knicks were winning that game pretty handily and then kind of fell apart in the second half. However, the one Achilles heel for this Knicks team right now is the fact that they're a lot better at home than they are on the road. On the road, they're not very good.
They've not had a good swing here.
ATS, they're okay on the road, but straight up, they're not exactly good at getting the job done. Now, Phoenix is one of those teams that plays really well against good teams, and against bad teams, they kind of play with their food a little bit.
Yeah, they played with their food against Atlanta the other night, all right.
Did against Atlanta. They got killed. Did against Oklahoma City the other night.
Covered by 3 against Oklahoma City.
Well, they didn't cover. They just won by 3.
That's what I'm saying. Or did I say covered? Yeah, they won by 3.
Yeah, so they
failed to cover. Absolutely shit the bed coming down the home
They
stretch.
barely covered against Cleveland.
Right.
I mean, that went to overtime, but they were in a tie game with Cleveland of all teams.
That's the miracle cover there, right? The overtime 16-point cover.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But either way, I think 6 is too many points. But looking at this matchup, though, I kind of have to like the over, don't I? I mean, Phoenix has played some high-scoring games lately.
Yeah, I know. And the Knicks.
Is one bad performance against the Nuggets enough to scare you off on the Knicks? I think that's basically the question we're asking for this matchup.
Yeah, that is the question, and really that came down. It just came down to one bad quarter, and because they put up like 20, I think they put up like 26, 27 the other 3 quarters, so they were fine.
20, 22 after the first quarter or something. Like they hung around after that, kind of.
Yeah, they, they tried to get it as close as they could, but.
The question is, if the Knicks didn't get killed by Denver, what would the spread be? Like 4, 3?
3.5 or 4, yeah.
I think it's an overreaction. I got to take the Knicks.
Yeah, 6 is a ton. 6,
a lot, especially for the Suns team that tends to play some close games.
I just think this is a team that steps it up at home against good teams, just like you said.
Oh, I believe me. I hope the Suns win. It'll be more fun for me because I'm in a group chat with a bunch of Knicks fans, but I just think it's too many points.
All right, I'll take the Suns there. I'll take the Suns in a slight lean the other way. I'm
assuming we agree on the over though.
Yeah, even though I got sucked into it the other night, I still think I think the over's the play here. I do.
Yeah,
I think this is a Knicks team that's trending up as far as pace and score goes, and Phoenix has been an over machine for the last 3 weeks. So
they have. I forgot what the first matchup totaled between these two teams, but I remember it being on the higher scoring side.
228 first one was.
Okay, and this one's around 218. I gotta like the over.
215 was the number. You see, we have a number on this.
There's around 218.
218. Yeah, you're right. We do have a number.
So I gotta like the over.
All right, good enough. Again, a couple of good games on the board for tonight rather. Nuggies and Jazz, buddy.
It's a meaningful game. I'm not sure to who, but it matters. Probably more to Utah because they're competing for the 1 seed. Denver, are they still breathing down the neck of Utah for that division, or did Utah regain a stranglehold on it? Because I know Utah has started to play well once again. I think they've won, I forgot how many in a row. 3 in a row? 4 in a row?
Utah has won 3 in a row. They're 6-4 last 10. Nuggets are 4 back.
Yeah, so Utah's basically got a stranglehold in the division. That's what I thought.
Yeah, they're in good shape. Well, they don't have a stranglehold in the division. They have a stranglehold over the Nuggets. Utah's 1 game up on the Suns.
They're not in the same division as the Suns.
What's that? Oh, I thought you were talking about the conference.
That's the conference.
You're talking about the actual division.
I'm saying is they're division rivals, so that doesn't really matter because Utah is just going to win the division. So this does matter, though, of course, for seeding because Utah is still trying to hold off Phoenix for the 1 seed, which is what you were talking about with the conference stuff.
Yeah, what do you get, a trophy for winning the division? Who cares?
Well, I was trying to just talk about it. They're division rivals, but it might not be as meaningful as it usually is later in the season because usually have a little bit of a closer race to win the division title.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my point there.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the 2 games this season, really a tale of 2 different games. Of course, they played a while ago, but Utah won the first meeting by 4, low-scoring game there. Second game, Nuggets won by 11. High-scoring game, Jokic at 47, but that was also the 20th game of the regular season, so they haven't played in about, 3 months, if not longer. So,
and Denver shot 64% from downtown.
I think you can throw out both those games. They were so long ago, and Mitchell's still, of course, not going to play.
Yep.
They've both been really good lately. I mean, that's the issue that I have with this spot is both these teams have been playing really good basketball, so it's not like you can fade a bad team here.
Nope.
But Utah is laying 3.5, totals at 218.5. I'm going to hold my nose and take the under. I just think in this rivalry game, both teams are pretty solid defensively. I think you'll see a lower scoring game. Am I confident about it? No. But I don't really like anything from this game. You?
No, this is a Denver team that's been playing better lately. 3 of their last 6, they've given up less than 100.
Yeah, defensively they've been good, and Utah has been ridiculous defensively for the last week or so.
Yep. Of course, those 2 games were against San Antonio where they held them under 100. So
they held Toronto to 102, held Sacramento to 105. I mean, realistically, I think you're looking at a game where it's going to be close, but I think that I don't know if both these teams are going to get to 110. So I'm going to go with the under.
Yeah, I don't have a.
I see a close 4th quarter game where you're going to see the pace get slowed down to a crawl down the stretch.
And this is still a team that absolutely gets it done at home.
Yep.
As long as they're not, playing Minnesota or Washington. But
it's either Utah or pass for me, but I'm going to lean to the under.
All right. Yeah, I'm probably going to steer clear, but I'll lean to the under there with you as well. You got anything else you like on the card?
Well, you got 2 games with huge spreads, which I'll mention briefly. You have Dallas against Cleveland. Dallas playing a back-to-back. I'm not sure if Porzingis is going to play, but once again, I did mention on the radio show, I think Dallas might be better without Porzingis, and they beat the Nets without Porzingis yesterday, which is a pretty good win. But Cleveland's so bad. This team is awful, and you're talking about 10.5. I'm not going to bet this because Dallas gives me nightmares when it comes to betting on this team, but I can't back Cleveland. This team's awful. But the other huge spread there is, of course, Milwaukee, minus 16.5 against Houston. I actually really, really like Milwaukee in this spot. And that's solely because Giannis played 1 minute in the last meeting.
Yeah.
Kevin Porter had 50, and they lost the game. I got to assume Milwaukee's just going to be really annoyed and kill this team by 30, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. And it's very, very unlikely Kevin Porter's going to have 50 in this game.
Well, you look at Porter's numbers since. He's mostly been topping out at around 16, which is more his speed. But
oh, that was a dick move troll on my part. He's not playing.
Oh, Kevin Porter's out?
No, yeah.
Well, I actually didn't even know he was going to be out for this game.
Yeah. So do you still like Milwaukee?
Yes. I think Milwaukee will bury this team, and I think they'll probably win.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same angle. Like, this is a team that's they're just not probably pissed. They're just annoyed. Like,
that's what I said. They're just annoyed.
And they probably talk shit about it at the end of the game. Running their yap. Somebody's talking shit on the bench.
The Houston bench is going crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think they want to hear any more of that. So that's not a bad play.
I think Milwaukee just absolutely mauls them tomorrow.
So I'm almost looking at a night where thank God I like the Jazz there because I would have been looking at the possibility of taking Denver, Dallas, and Boston on the same night.
I'm really thinking if I want to go official on that Bucks game because I really just think that Houston's going to get killed, you know?
You think people are sitting at home with their pencils poised over a notepad going, is it official? Is he saying yes? Is he saying yes?
Listen, just because some people don't care about that, I keep tabs on my record, so that I take it personally. But you know what? I'm going to see what the best line I can find is, but I actually am going to go official on Milwaukee. I just think Milwaukee's going to bury this team. So I'll go official at, I think the best line I can find right now is 16.5. But yeah, I'm going to take it.
Okay.
Grand reveal.
I'll alert the media.
You should. And hopefully we don't call the cops.
Hopefully we won't have to call the cops. Milwaukee's up 24 with 45 seconds left.
Is Christian Wood even going to play in this game?
Christian Wood is questionable.
Sure. Oh, boy, you're going to need Olynyk to go for like –
By the way, I believe Christian Wood is also a sin.
You're going to need at least like 90.
Nothing?
I got the joke. It was well
Nothing placed. For that?
It was well placed.
Olynyk is also questionable.
Oh, boy, this is just a full-on tank bowl here. Yeah, I got to take Milwaukee. They're going to kill this team.
It just gets better and better, doesn't it?
I might even like it more than the play I did for play of the day. If I'm being honest, half of Houston's not playing. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go official on Milwaukee.
This just smells. I like that play, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this is one of those ridiculous games where Houston ends up losing by 12. Just you go, how did they possibly keep it close with this bunch of scrubs?
Olynyk had 40, and they kept it close.
Right. Yeah.
I just see this game being ugly.
He came off the bench like Willis Reed in the third quarter.
Olynyk's actually having great numbers this year, which is kind of the pleasant surprise of Houston. But
well, hell, who else is going to score?
To put it this way, I liked Milwaukee, and then I found out that Porter and Christian Wood might not play.
Yeah.
You have basically a G League roster out there. This roster might lose to Oklahoma City.
So the guy that had it could be a 50-point swing from last time.
It really could.
It really, honestly could. Because I think do you remember the score last time?
Was
I thought 42? They beat by like 20 or something.
142, 135.
Oh, was it that close? I thought they beat them by double digits.
I know it was a track meet. There were a bunch of points in there.
Yeah, it was nuts. Because
Giannis only played 1 minute.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It's only said it was 40. It was 43-36.
Okay, I said 42-35, but whatever. The point is,
you're fine. I give you credit.
Yeah, I just see a bloodbath. So that's all I got to say about that game.
That's all I got to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Houston made 25 threes.
Yeah, 9 of them came from Porter.
I know. Yeah. It could be. So they lose by 7. Okay, it won't be a 50-point. They won't lose by 43.
Oh, it could still be a 50-point swing.
It's possible.
Milwaukee could still win by 40.
It's possible.
Especially with the Nets losing again. Milwaukee's got a real shot at the 2 seed.
I know. All right, guys. As always, if you're looking for more information on these games, man, hard to believe you could want more information than what we've already given you on these games. But if you're one of those people that want more information, stop by winnersandwhiners.com. Check it out. Would you deep dives into every game, every day? You know the drill. Previews and predictions every single game, every single day, always free. winnersandwhiners.com. And that's going to do it for this edition of Today in Sports Betting. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Winers, we appreciate you watching. Wish you nothing but the best of luck. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. All right, you guys have a great day. Stay tuned. We're really going to be doing a baseball show this time. Just be right around the corner on the next edition of Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.